Let's look at some solutions of question number 1, paper 1. All right, it's mathematical literacy. Naledi runs a beauty salon. Her customers have an option of coming to her salon, or Naledi goes to her customer's house to treat their hair at an extra cost. Naledi's beauty salon offers the following services: hair care services. First and foremost, is what we see here. This is a call out fee of 250. Then, and she charges 80 rands per hour. 80 rands per hour. Explain the meaning of the word call out fee. Now, the call out fee, we shall say, is a fixed amount charged for house service. You understand? All we need here is a fixed amount that is charged. The moment you call her, make sure that you have 250. On top of that, you start paying for each hour. All right. What is the cost of doing a 3-hour job, excluding the call-out fee? Now, remember, each hour is 80 rands. So we are multiplying by 3. So approximately this is 240. That's how much a person now. So that's how much it will cost. 3 hours. Then we go down here. It says the relationship between hours that it spends doing her hair and the cost is represented in the graph below. The relationship between hours. Relationship between hours and cost. All right. On the x-axis, this is what we call the y. This is the y-axis, and this is the x-axis. So the x-axis, we have hours worked. On the y-axis, we have costs in rands. Then they say which of the variable in the above is dependent. Is dependent variable. Now, I want you to remember that we say I, D, X, Y. So whatever is on the x-axis is independent. Whatever is on the y-axis is dependent. So what is on the y-axis here? We have cost. Cost in rands. The other way to understand it, definitely, for someone to get the money, it has to depend on the hours worked. So the cost here will depend on the hours worked. That's another way of understanding it. Dependent. If it was independent, we would have taken hours worked. All right, estimate the amount of money Naledi will receive if she worked 4 hours. Estimating 4 hours. So estimating 4 hours, estimating, look at where it is. It's approximately 590. We are estimating from the diagram, so we can start from 580, 590. Even someone who says 600, but 600 is on dot. That's not an, but it's estimation, because if it was 600, then it would have been here. But it's above, it's around here. So 580, 590. 600 is not there. We are estimating, we are not calculating. All right, there we go. 1.3. Naledi buys her supplies for the beauty salon from beauty hair salon suppliers. The products sold and their prices are indicated in the table below. Study the table below and use it to answer the questions that follow. We have items here. We have around, there are 6 items. We have item 1, item 2, item 3. We have 4, 5, and 6. Let's look at the questions that follow. Look at that. Arrange the prices of hair products in ascending order. When you hear ascending order, we shall start from small values to big values. Or you can say from minimum to maximum. Minimum to maximum. So we shall say which of these values here, which one is the smallest? This is the smallest, followed by that, followed by, sorry, 45, 45, this is 48, followed by this, right? Followed, this is number three, so this is number 4. Number 4, followed by number 5 is this one, and lastly have, so in ascending order, so this is going to be easy. We'll start with 45 rands 50 cents, followed by 45 rands 90 cents, followed by 48 rands 39. Number 4 will be 48 rands 99. Then we go to number 5, 69 rands 90 cents. And lastly, 69 rands 95 cents. That's how we arrange from smallest to biggest. Naledi contacts another supplier who sells Easy Wave Cream Relaxer for 45 rands 20 cents. Calculate how much she will save if she buys this new, okay, if she buys this from the new supplier. So first and foremost, we need to identify, or we need to look for this cream here. Easy Wave Cream Relaxer. Okay. Indeed, it's this one here. So we're going to compare that and the new price here. So here we shall say, since we are looking for how much does she save, so we shall take the 48 rands 99 minus the 45 rands 20 cents. And Naledi here will seem to save some money, around 2 rands. 48.99 minus 45.20 cents. So it's around 3 rands. So she will save 3 rands 79 cents. Okay. The price of Just for Kids cream relaxer is for 45 rands 50 cents. Round off the 45 rands 50 cents to the nearest 10 rands. So indeed we have this value here. So the 10 rands are these ones here. So this will become 50. This will become 50. 50 rands. Rounding off the nearest 10 values to the nearest 10 rand. All right. Mrs. Longa Paracheze has a clothing account at Jet Stores in Echo Park. Jet Stores. The Jet Store sent Mrs. Longa on October 20, 2023 account statement as follows. Some of the information has been omitted. Some of the information has been left out. Okay. Now, what you have to know, we have 2 accounts. We have the one for the bank statement. The bank statement, that one will show how your transaction we are flowing throughout the month. Then we have this account statement. Now, account statement, whenever you deposit, the balance has to reduce. Whereas the bank statement, whenever you deposit money, the balance has to increase. You understand? So in this form of payment now, the person, once he makes a payment in the statement of the clothing, the expected balance has to reduce whenever one makes a payment. So the person made a payment on the 2nd of October, the person made a payment A, and the balance became 4,625 rands 54 cents. So from the balance, which was 6,925 rands 54 cents. So whenever you deposit, the balance has to reduce. Now here they are saying on the 2nd of October, she made a payment. Determine the amount of A she paid. So as I told you now, before A was made, the balance was 6,125 rands 54 cents. So now after the payment was made, the money became 4,625 rands 54 cents. So how much was deposited? So all you're going to do is take 6,125, 54 minus 4,625 rands 54 cents. So how much is it? So 1,000 minus 4. So we have the answer as 1,500. So this was the amount deposited on that day. All right, we continue. Determine the closing balance B on the 20th of October, 2023. Now, he made again another payment. Remember, I told you payment made, you subtract from the balance. Whereas in the bank account, if there's any payment made, it will be adding. All right, there we go now. We say this will be, the balance was 4,677 rands, 10 cents minus the money he paid, which is 3,000. So this became 1,677 rands, 10 cents. So this is a closing balance of B. All right, write down the ratio of lifestyle membership fee to the account protection plan. Take note of this. What are we doing? We are writing down the ratio. Ratio of what? We are writing of membership fee to the account protection plan. Those ones who don't know how to deal with the ratios, please take note. Now we've identified lifestyle membership to protection plan. So we shall go to the statement. Let's look for lifestyle membership. Lifestyle membership, this is this much, and protection is that much. So we say 22 rands is to 29 rands 46 cents. Right? But did they say in simplified form? No. You can leave it like that. Or if you wanted it in simplified form, all you do, you get the big number, sorry, the small number, which is 22, divided by 29,46, which gives me, it's fine, in whole numbers, it's giving me this much. Right? So you can leave it like that. Unless when they ask for unit ratio. Unit ratio, it starts with 1 is a given number. That means it will be 22 divided by 22 is 29, 46 divided by 22, 1. Then you would come up with a plan and you say, it gives you 1,837. That marks the end of question number 1. Let's look at question number 2. Question number two, still finance. Mrs. Molloy started a business where she manufactures traditional jewelry beads beads on order. Payment is made in advance. The material required to manufacture one jewelry bead costs 555 rands. Then she sells each at 120 rands. She needs 4,000 to purchase the equipment that she's required to start her project. The amount excludes the material which is used to manufacture the actual beads. Determine the percentage profit that Mrs. Molloy will make on each jewelry. Now remember, the cost price is already identified as 55 rands, and the selling price is also identified as the 120. Substitute this into the formula. Comes 120 minus 55 divided by 55 times 100. So this is 65 we should put it as 118, 18. Forget that percentage there. Okay. We continue and we look at question number 2.2. The graph below shows the status of the financial aspects of Mrs. Molloy's project. Study the graphs and answer the questions that follow. Now, when you look at these graphs, I'm here looking at it, you can easily tell which one is income, which one is expense. Remember, cost, the cost one will always start with this is what we call the fixed cost. Income starts at 0 because you sell nothing, you get nothing. But for cost starts at somewhere because first and foremost, you need to buy the material, you're spending. You need to rent the place, you're spending. You need to pay labor, you're spending. That's a fixed, like you need to spend before you start what? Selling. But for income, you have to earn immediately. You start selling. All right, let's go there and we see questions that answer here. Oh, wow. Which of the graphs, A or B, represents income from sales? Motivate your answer. I've just explained it. Now it will be, look at that. It will be what? Graph A, because shall say it's graph A because it starts from 0. Listen, they said, let me see, motivate your answer by referring to a specific set of values at a point. So you see 0 rands, you have 0 bits. So this is a set of points, which will be 0, 0. This is a set of this one here. That's what you're looking at. Write down an equation that can be used to describe graph B. Graph B is the cost. Now, an equation, remember the cost, the person has to start with, the person has to pay 4,000. On top of that, he pays 55 per jewelry that the person makes. So now this will be the formula. We are saying the equation here is 4,000 plus 55 times the number of jewelry that is made. Using the graphs, determine how much traditional jewelry beads Mrs. Molloy has made if her expense amount is 8,000. Now, what you're going to do, first and foremost, look for 8,000. When does it touch? When does it touch the cost price? Because they're saying expense. So you're going to determine at how much. So this is around, this is when it touches. This is around 60, 66. Around 66. All right. So you can say 6. They are saying estimate. So it's around 66, 65, You can as well give me a 67. You are estimating, you're using that graph. Graph is not clear. These are the possible, you pick only one, the possible answer. How many jewelry bids must Mr. Molo say to break even? How many? We are using the graph. Is it true? Okay, you can use the graph, or if you had a table, you would use it. If not, I'm going to show you how we use a formula. Now, this is it. The break even, which is approximately 62 or 60. So this is around 62. 62. Refer to the graphical representation to give one possible reason why should not, why it would not be would not be good for Mrs. Molloy's business if she only manufactured and sold 60 or less. She will be making, she'll be losing money, she'll be making losses. Losses. She'll be losing money, she'll be making what? Losses. All right. Oh, you can say no profit. She'll be making no profit, which we call out a loss. Negative profit. Negative profit. Determine the probability as a percentage of Mr. Molloy having no expenses for the business. It's what? 0%. Probability that she can't have expenses, it's already there. She has expenses already. That's why it's 0. 2.2, sorry, 2.3. Mr. Molloy borrowed 4,000 to purchase an equipment from her brother who stays in the United Kingdom. Her brother offered her a loan of 9% simple interest per annum. She agreed to pay back the whole sum over a period of 2 years. Calculate the final amount Mrs. Molloy has to pay back after 2 years. Now, this is simple interest. Simple interest per annum. It's already there. How much is borrowed? 4,000. Remember very well, we said it does not change. Simple interest does not change. So you're going to first and foremost look for the interest itself, which will be 9/100 times the money. And the interest, you have it as 360. 360 is going to be carried over a period of 2 years. Multiply by 2. You get your final interest as 2,000. Sorry, as 720 plus the money she borrowed. So the total amount of money is supposed to be 4,720. All right. We go to 2.4. The value of currency fluctuates on a daily basis based on supply and demand. Refer to the table below and answer the questions that follow. Currency and rand value table. Currency of this value. So these ones are 1 US dollar is equivalent to 1 Canadian dollar is equivalent to 1 British pound is equivalent to 1 euro. 1 euro is equivalent to, you understand? All right, there we go. Use the information above. You're going and say which currency from the table above is the weakest. So we shall look for the lowest currency, which is the Australian dollar. Australian dollar, the weakest. Then Mrs. Molloy receives 12,000 British pounds from her aunt in Britain. Use the table above to calculate the rand value. So we say if only 1 British pound equals 2 22 rands 97. What about 1,000? So we shall need to multiply with. So here we shall end up having an answer as, all right, we have the answer as 27,564 rands. Exchange rates fluctuate all the time. There's two reasons why this happens. Yeah, this is economical. Number one, it could be what we call what? Inflation, right? Then also change in costs of commodities. When I talk of commodities, I'm talking of minerals, all right? And other factors from economics. This marks the end of question number 2. We look at question number 3. Question number 3 refers to data handling. When the moment you see the frequency table, there's no data handling. People prefer to buy lean cows because they are cheaper. The buyer will have to feed them for a certain period of time. The frequency table below shows the masses of lean cows in nearby cattle farm. All right, then we're asking you which statistical cycle stage is shown by the table above. This is called organizing. Remember, there are 6 steps. Organizing. You need to design the question paper, and you collect the question papers. So you collect the data, analyze, organize the data, analyze and classify, summarize, represent. Determine the number of cows that weighed less than 170. So we shall come here, less than 170. These are the cows. So we shall add 20 plus 7 plus 11 plus 4 plus 2. So we shall say 20 plus 7 plus 11 plus 4 plus 2. 20 plus 7 plus 11 plus. So here we end up having 44 cows. I'll get the percentage of cows that weigh more than 108. More than. So more than 108, it's this. Yes, sir. So we have 7. We have 7. 7 plus 12 plus 9 plus 58 plus 15. 71. So this is 71 divided by how many cows are there? We have 44 plus 71 plus another 10. 71 plus, so this is 44 plus 71 plus 10, 125. So you might, because the percentage, you multiply by 100 and becomes, answer becomes 56. This is 56.8%. Question number 3. Question number 3.2. The table, the data in the table below represents the distance in kilometers and the learners from Excellent High School walked to school in the morning. Okay, out of 50. That they obtain the best. So here we go and we look at the questions. Identify the second shortest distance walked by a learner. So distance, we come here, second shortest distance. So this is 1, then this is 2, 3, 4. So here the answer becomes 0.25. These are kilometers. Determine the highest mark scored by the learner. The highest mark there was 49. Name one data of collection instrument used to collect. We can say questionnaires and probably survey. Questionnaire. Determine the median mark test. That means you need to arrange first and foremost and look for the median mark test. The mode is supposed to be the mode mark test. Let's see. We have 38, 38, 28, 28, 28.